have Frank the Tank, Frankie Diaz.
What's up?
And I have Julio Diaz and our baby boy Scott, who I'm going to call out for something. He doesn't know it yet. Oh, he's scared. And I have my lifer Jeff back in studio from Tampa. He's just a world traveler.
Hello.
And about to leave us again.
Yep.
Jeff got massive compliments. I say massive because to me, any compliment's massive. Somebody said at the fight, he's like, "You're really good on that show." To Jeff, he is.
Yeah, especially with that hair.
Especially with that hair. I'm going to buy him a special jeweled brush for Christmas.
I already have one.
I can't even.
Not one with the logo.
So, Scott, before I begin.
Yes.
You little naive, little liar.
I'm curious.
So you and I didn't follow each other on the Instagrams. And here I am thinking you're the sweetest, shyest 25-year-old ever. And then I followed you on the Instagram and realized you're just a little model. Giving out positivity.
I'll take it.
That's what I hear.
I told Frankie, you got to see this shit. Yep. Who knew Scott was like not shy?
I've lived a good life.
Living positivity. A little player on the run. I have a feeling Scott was definitely, is. And he just plays it up because we're old people.
I'm calmer now than I once was.
Careful, Scott. She's going to find your Tinder soon.
Oh, you swiping up, you might.
Oh, God. No, you're not in my age bracket.
Anymore.
You're close. All right. So anyway, what a week it was.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. What a week it was in football.
Yes.
How exciting. Woo. Shout out to the Commanders. Everybody's like, oh, they barely won. I'm like, second place is first loser and almost doesn't count. And we're in first place in terms of that game. So, and second in our division.
Undefeated.
No, Dallas is ahead of us because of points. Jeff, I was trying to figure out the acronyms outside. Like, why are they ahead of us? Because I didn't remember how the rankings went. Yeah. But Dallas spanked the Giants.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Division game. That sucks.
Exactly.
And the Eagles won. So I have to give them a shout out because I am from Philly. But
boo.
Yeah, I know. Do you want me alive? And the Commanders, it was good to see everything. You went to the game.
Yes.
That's awesome. And I'll let you talk a little bit about that. But it was good to see Josh Harris on the field, RG3. I think Joe Theismann was there. Yeah. Just back because they wouldn't come to the game because of Dan Snyder. So it was really good just to see it being the DC family again.
Yep.
That was very cool. That's how it was when I first moved here in 97. So that was just awesome to see, and a sold out stadium, and we won. And that's all that matters.
Yeah,
all that matters.
It was good to see a lot of people there.
And you were sending me video. It looked amazing. So tell me about the game.
Oh, man. First of all, the vibe was just amazing to see that many people at the stadium. I think it was almost close to 65,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pumped. Everybody was like happy. You know, it wasn't like drinking because we were angry.
Yeah.
This we were like drinking because we were like happy for the game to see the Commanders.
Not everyone was happy. Did you see that news story where that guy just got beaten in the face by a command? Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It was all over the news the other night. I don't usually watch the local news anymore, and it was all over. I was like, oh, God, he got beaten.
Yeah, I didn't hear much about anything because you know how it is going to the game. Yeah. It's like, I got up early to tailgate.
That's why I don't usually go. I mean, it's just such a day. I'm like, I'd rather be. We're going to DC to Public Bar Live on Sunday. We're going to start there. And I've looked up, Eater DC did a great article about all the cool spots to watch football this season. So we're going to do a football crawl.
I know, exactly.
That's what I'm calling it.
I was thinking, what we're going to call it, like, because there was like a bar crawl, football bar crawl.
Football bar crawl. So
because the Ravens play first at 1.
Yeah, and you're going to have double jerseys on, right?
I'm going to be sweating, but heck yeah, because I put my team, my brother's team.
Yeah. And I bought all new Commander's gear. So hopefully that is in at my house. Yeah, it's cool. Woo. I think I'm going to wear a jumpsuit under. I just feel like somehow we're going to end up out in the city. So I'm like, I got to have dual outfits going on. I'm going to be like Julio.
Make sure we hydrate, Julio. It's going to be a long day.
You're going to need some tearaway pants.
Yeah. And I gotta give credit to my Cowgirls fans. You know, I banter with all my Cowgirls fans. But damn, they spanked the Giants. I was like, whoa. And then the Jets game was just incredible. Like I didn't go to bed. I was like, oh, I just want to turn off the TV. I was so tired.
Dude, I remember I sent you a text. I was like, Jessica, my voice is gone.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a great week in football. Looking forward to this week in football and the VMAs last night. So I didn't watch because I needed sleep. I had my 5:30 a.m. gym day today. And so I got up this morning when I was sitting in the parking lot waiting to go in and just going through all the TikToks and Taylor Swift just cleaning house.
I know. Go
What did
Taylor.
she win, Julio? You're supposed to do a little research here.
I didn't see what she won, but I know she won like 9 awards.
She won like hold on, I have to get my dog.
It was I think best video, something about best video.
She won 9. I think it was the most ever it ever by anyone or by a woman? I can't remember.
It's like any artist, period.
And she's just so cool. Like if you saw the outtakes of her just dancing and she's just real to the bone and just excited for everyone. So excited when Selena Gomez won. Freaking fangirling when NSYNC gave her the award.
We'll call it dancing for a white girl.
I dance good.
No, I'm saying for her.
Yeah.
Dancing, quote unquote.
She was getting down to Lil Wayne. Heck yeah.
She's just really real. I like that about her.
She was having a blast when Shakira was on. She was like singing along, dancing.
I know. She was just like, she's just one of those people you're like, that's just a real chick. I feel like I could talk to her. And she's a Sagittarius, so it's not surprising.
I mean, I've always liked her. I always liked her music. I didn't get caught up in that stuff with her songs and all those breakups. I was like, great songs, you know?
And it was also the year of the boy band. Jeff, did you see it all? I can't hear you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't usually watch, but the Backstreet Boys performed. NSYNC presented the awards. Supposedly, rumor has it they're reuniting. I'll tell you, I love all the songs, but my last boy band craze was New Kids on the Block, and now millennials and Gen Z and Gen Y are like, who's that? Oh God, I'm obsessed.
The Right Stuff.
The Right Stuff. That was a great song.
Yeah, that was a good boy band.
And Diddy performed. LL Cool J presented awards. And then
everybody we talked about was on there.
I know everybody we've talked about on the show.
Hey, what did you find out that I was right?
All right, hold on. I have one more shout out though. One more shout out. No, I didn't say you were right. I said we're even. I said it's we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't even. I'm on an intermittent fasting. I'm starting to get hangry.
I see that.
Nicki Minaj, my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And did you see her slow song performance?
I didn't get a chance to see that.
Beautiful. I like. Who knew? I mean, I've heard her sing way back in the day. Like,
have you seen her feet though?
No,
Oh
Frankie.
God!
I'm sorry.
No, that's a deal breaker there. Oh God!
But she then she did a diss song to chicks. I loved it. She's like, "Do you want my nice side or my bitch side?"
I don't know. She's when she gets upset and raps like.
Yeah, I love it. I'm just like, she's like, I'm the bitch.
When she comes out with 6ix9ine, my guilty pleasure.
She's just awesome. Yeah. She's just awesome. All right, so today I did my research because I go back and listen to all the shows to figure out what we needed to follow up on, tie up on. And Frankie and I had a battle on here because I'm 2 years out. I'm a mid-70s baby. He's 2 years later than me, whatever. And he said the golden era of rap was the 90s. And I said the golden era of rap was the 80s, which I still stand by. So I went and looked up historical fact of how it's recorded in history of the golden era of rap and is 1985 to 1995. So what I said was, you were not right. We were both right.
So I met you halfway.
Yeah, I met you halfway on that. So
hey, it's a victory to me. A tie is a victory for me.
So was it VH1 that said this?
No, I went and looked at how they're recorded. I sent you. I thought I sent you guys this.
No, I was messing around because VH1 back in the day would do all the behind the scenes, behind the music.
I do miss those shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, VH1 was cool.
Everything.
God, MTV. Remember when MTV came out and it was a ton of music videos, but then some of the old school shows, and now it's just. But when it was really like music videos, my one grandpa used to be like, "Jessica, shut that up. That's ungodly." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it was really cool. Music videos.
That's where I went wrong. That's where I went wrong. Madonna's like a virgin. She's crawling on the floor in a wedding dress.
Oh, I love Madonna.
God, I love Madonna. I don't care what anybody says. She's goat. She's awesome.
She is.
She set the way for so many things. I feel like a little bit like Elvis did for, rock and roll. She set it in pop to be a little more daring and sassy and
Yeah, she was
trashy.
out there. She was out
the
there.
OG.
She's still out there. That's what I like about her. I don't like normal people. They're
Well, she
boring.
was out there like, not out there like.
She would just do any. I feel like she's kind of like me, except I don't walk that. I don't even walk that line.
At this point,
But
she's hanging in there.
she's hanging. She's not out there. She's hanging in there.
Yeah.
Jeff, did you like some Madonna?
Yeah, back in the day, yeah, of course. When I
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah, that's what
16.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like 22,
Yeah.
25, whatever age she is.
Don't you think she kind of set like a path though, when like a pop crossover for women
She
to
set
get
all
more
the
daring?
precedents for-
Yeah,
for
precedent.
females.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that. Remember that
For being
clip
a
you sent
star
me?
like that, like, Cyndi Lauper broke it
Yeah,
for like
true.
women performers, but she just sort of upped the bar.
Leveled up.
because
She
it was,
leveled
like,
that up.
sexy and performance and good, like
Agreed.
everything. Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper was more punk, and then Madonna, I think what she did was just, she pushed every limit and
Yeah.
said, F you, I don't care what you think of me, I am who I am, kind of like I say to you, Frankie.
Swap name.
I mean, I say that to you, like, I'm like, why am I sweating this? I am who I am. Like, we got in a long discussion, which I think will come in later on in the show. But yeah, Madonna. So it's just the VMAs. I generally don't think any of those shows are good anymore. I thought, I didn't watch them, but the TikToks, I was like, that was
Yeah,
actually
the
a
TikToks were
good,
fire. Yeah.
good VMAs. So, all right. And you went to, guys, if you're watching and tuning in, I have my Tribe Called Jess shirt on that you've seen before, but the boys have their Tribe Called Jess baseball jerseys that they had made. Very cool. Frankie says Frank the Tank, and Julio says July. July, because that's when. Why July?
Oh, because July is English for Julio.
Since when?
Since always. 'Cause
Really?
it's the name of the month.
So the name of the month in Spanish is Julio, July. So when he was little, one of my buddies used to call him Baby July. Yeah.
He used to. Yeah.
Well, he still calls him that now.
I'm gonna call you July now.
There you go. Yeah.
So anyway, you went out in your jersey to sound check.
Yes.
Very cool. Just out there doing a DC promotion for us. I love it, Frankie. You got a lot of questions and a lot of pictures that we posted. Great pictures.
Yeah.
And you had a little run in, and we have a lot to pack in, but I want you to tell the story.
Quick story.
with the
quick
chicks.
story. So one of our fellas had a table, right? And then he wasn't able to get in. So we're all like, nobody wanted to
He wasn't able to get in.
Yeah.
We won't say why, but
Yeah.
you can all guess why.
So, like, nobody wanted to put their credit card down. Nobody wanted to be responsible for the table. So I'm standing there by the table, right? And this tall, hot blonde comes over and whispers to me. She goes, I want a party. How about if I send you some money real quick, $1,000, and we just get some bottles? And I was like, okay. So she says, give me your number. And she, Apple pays me $1,000 and gives me a kiss on the neck. And she goes, let's party. I was like, let's go.
Well, my response to that was, thank you, because me and a couple other girls were always getting the tables. Granted, we all split. We talk about that. I'm not trying to say it like that, but like, it's like good to see a girl do that too.
I mean, in
another
my mind,
girl.
Well, in my mind, I was like, am I going to have to put out?
Did you? Did you put out?
I had a date the next day. Remember, you were like, "Go home, Frankie."
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up. I did. I'm texting you. I'm like, you brought a girl to the game.
Yeah,
So that was very cool for you.
yeah. But that night, there was an after party, and
Yeah,
Jessica's like, "Frankie, careful, don't drink too much. You got a date tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, should I stay? Should I go?"
That would be me. I would screw up my date the next day because I was like, this is so much fun. Yeah, so I did I was home. What day was that? I don't even remember.
Saturday.
Friday. That was Friday. I was
Friday.
home. I had to work the fights. And yeah, we had, real quick. So then our old friend Karai, who I miss hanging out with. Back in the day, we all hung out. He commented about something about bananas. He's like, ask Frankie about bananas. And you told me, what was it?
So this fool, every time we would party, every time we would party, the next day I would go pick him up. He had a banana in his pocket and a banana in his hand. And he was always eating it every time I picked him up. And I'm like, what's up with these bananas? He goes, you have to eat banana. Because he's like Turkish, he has an accent. because he says it's really good for like hangovers.
Yeah, it actually is because of the potassium. Yeah, it's very good. So
every time I picked him up, a banana in his pocket and a banana in his hand.
I think
sure there was a banana in his pocket. Or just happy to see you.
Or did he really like you, Frankie?
Exactly.
Karai, what do we not know? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hi, Karai. He said he was going to tune in, so if he's tuning in, it is funny though.
Yeah,
if you know Karai's accent, it makes it even funnier too. Bananas.
Well, I always had to translate for everybody because he would say his quotes.
Yeah.
And there would be like, for some reason, I understood what he said, and I would translate.
I always understood what Karai said.
Everybody would ask me, like, they'd be like, what did he say, Frankie? They'd be like, what he meant to say was this. And we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I had TCB fights.
Oh, yeah, how was that?
Or I had. Jeff had nothing to do with it. I mean, our lovely Jeff.
Yeah, thanks for putting that together for us.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, Jeff. It was such a great production. But it went off without a hitch. I mean, all the crew, Pev, Jeff, Scott, technically, Catherine played Go-Go, which was cool.
Oh, yeah, her some Go-Go was played.
Yeah, I told Frankie Scott. Scott was all excited.
It was popping.
It was popping. It was when we were setting up. So some old Go-Go. Anybody old school DC will appreciate that. And the fight, what I liked about this fight, in each and every one was intense. So if anybody that doesn't know, listening, TCB Fights is our Muay Thai kickboxing, and we will have another one featuring what it was, juniors, right, Jeff?
Yeah, youth showcase from 4 to 7 before the fights.
Yes, youth showcase 4 to 7 on November 11th, and then the main card will start at 7 p.m.
You sent us a picture of like a professional fighter that was there.
Oh,
right?
yeah. So Nathan Carnage, what was the last name?
Corbett,
Nathan
11-time
Carnage.
world champion.
Yeah, that was so cool.
He was very cool, very nice, and dude, I love people like this because this would be me.
Yeah.
Some just person was heckling him or just being loud while he was giving an interview. Everybody's listening, and he called him straight out. He's like, "Sir," and everybody's dead quiet, and it's packed in here. And he's like, "I'm talking. You don't talk. It's rude," or something like
even
that.
Even better in his Australian accent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shut up over there, mate.
Yeah, that was what. Shut up over there, mate.
I love it.
But he was really cool, and I posted about him, so that was really neat to see.
Yeah,
Very nice
picture.
person.
That's
He
cool.
was sitting with Disciple, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
He did a seminar earlier that day.
Oh, excellent. I love Disciple. They're really nice. And then we have October 14th, Cagezilla, DMV's oldest running and most successful MMA promotion. So if you haven't been down to the Salisbury Center, come down for Cagezilla. It is such an event, such an experience. They really are my favorite is the MMA. Just me preferential.
Yeah.
They're all good. Any event here that Jeff puts together is excellent, and crew, obviously. So come on down October 14th, CagezillaTickets.com. Hit me up for a table. I'm always here. I'm always here. Yeah.
We might make an appearance.
You should. The last Cagezilla was just phenomenal.
I know we missed that one.
It was really awesome.
We were in New York.
Yeah.
We were on our
You're on your
promo tour.
East Coast tour. And before we get into fun stuff, I want to give a shout out. So I went over to my girlfriend's for a dinner party, and a girl, her name is Kitty, was there, and she does photography. Really cool chick. She's originally from London.
Oh.
I love the way she dresses. She's edgy, and I love people who are exactly who they are, and I just dig it. You know, she has cool red hair and like really cool outfits, and I'm just like, that's awesome. Edgy, you know what I mean? And but I started talking to her, and she does photography. So it is. I want to give her a shout out because I love people who are entrepreneurs, and it's Kitty Linton Photography on Instagram. And I believe Facebook, and kittylintonphotography.com. And she does like maternity, families, elopements. Is that what you call it? And in natural lighting. And she specializes in that in couples. So I thought that was really cool. And if you mention Tribe Called Jess, you get 10% off.
Maybe we could hire her to do a
family
photo
port-
shoot for with our gear.
Yeah, there you go.
Heck
She
yeah.
cool chick, guys. Check out her page, like her on Instagram, like her on follow on Facebook, and look on her website. And yeah, she's an awesome girl. I want to see her do really well, and she does well. We just want to get her to the next level. Level up.
Do you know how to do a British accent or no?
Well, I live there. I should. Now you're putting me on. If you put me on the spot, I can't do it. If you don't put me, so somewhere in the show,
If
I'll
I put her in a spot, she comes out with a Mexican accent. Jessica.
yeah.
When she imitates you.
That's what they. Every time I go to Mexico, they're like, "Jessica, how are you?" Oh yes, Jessica. I love when they say it because it's like so. Like they just love me, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so nice.
Dude, her stories are hysterical when she's talking about Mexico.
My Mexico stories are off the chain. We'll save those for another show, but I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Do you want this in here? But I have to give all the context.
Yes, Jessica.
Jessica. Oh yes, we do. I'll have to tell you. It was a great drunk story of me coming back from the beach, and I was hammer time. And I was going to go in that restaurant in my bikini. I mean, whatever. I thought I should be allowed. So anyway, let's see. I want to see if there's anything else I wanted to touch on or miss. Oh, yeah. So this morning I text Frankie, and I was like, hey. So I'm in Wawa, and this military guy is in front of me. Real fit guy, young guy, good looking. But we're all tired. I just come from my 5:30 a.m. gym. He leaves. I'm paying for my stuff, and I'm walking out. And he comes up to me in the parking lot. He goes, ma'am. Just like that. So military, so respectful. I felt like 80. But anyway, very proper. He goes, how many days a week do you work out? And I said, 5 to 6. He's like, it shows, ma'am.
Yeah.
Jeff, you like that? How come I don't get compliments like that from you guys?
Damn, girl.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you love it. The military guy calling me ma'am.
Yeah, I just wish he would have said, "Do you need help with your groceries?"
I know, right? That's what I was telling her.
I only had a salad and a Red Bull because I'm intermittent fasting. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oops, delete. A salad and a Monster. Because I was coming home from the gym and now I'm intermittent fasting for our next 2 weeks.
So, Jess, you said thank God you were tired.
Off and on.
What would have happened if you hadn't been tired?
Nothing. Look, he's a kid. Then yesterday, I'm in my.
I'll show you, man.
Okay, even I have feel like a bad person. And then yesterday we're in the gym, right? And it was just by happenstance, all girls came. Our normal guys didn't come into our class. We do a weighted cardio. It's kind of like CrossFit, but a little less extensive, a little easier on the old joints here. And I don't pay attention to anything, so I'm on the far side of the class. Like it's on turf. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's like hardcore stuff. And the girls are there. Everybody is looking this way. And I'm like, what is going on? So I stop and I'm like, what's going on? And they're all like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And they're like doing the head shake that way. So I walk to the other side and they have mirrors at Scott, you mirrors at the shop gym. You guys have the posing area.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. So there is this guy. And I think as a person that works out, I appreciate this work. Holy shit. But I don't even get excited about that shit. I was even like, well, damn. I'm glad I wore no makeup today. No, they were all looking we're all just staring at him and I don't get in awe of men. And I was like, holy crap. Amazing body. Adonis type cut in. Better than bodybuilder.
Was he working out? What was he doing?
I think he was probably posing for a competition.
Oh,
they have to do the practice.
He's
Yeah.
putting on a show.
And
It's
that.
just not cool,
There
as a
wasn't-
guy going to the gym.
One
and
question,
getting
though.
heckled and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you still master of your domain?
What do you mean?
You guys don't watch Seinfeld?
No, I do.
That was the where they had the contest to see who could hold out on not taking care of themselves. And John F. Kennedy Jr. went into Elaine's workout, and she saw him, and then lost the contest.
Oh, not taking care of themselves.
Yeah,
I just got nervous
Yeah.
when he said master. I was like, what is he gonna use?
that's what the contest was.
Yeah, I didn't
Are
go.
you master of your domain? Is what they.
I didn't go home
what
and
they said.
master date to the guy at the gym. No, so I'm good.
So were you master of your domain?
I'm
I was
still
like, where's this
master of
going?
my domain.
Yeah, that's the joke. in
This could go
Seinfeld.
several ways with me.
know.
Yes.
That's how I was like,
That would
whoa.
have been way funnier if somebody watched Seinfeld.
I do. I went to the Soups Kitchen when I was in New York.
I saw it when it came out in the 90s.
You just didn't remember the most famous episode ever where they had a contest to see.
No. I don't know why I don't remember that because I like Seinfeld.
Where they, the last one to self-pleasure won the contest. And and there was a woman doing naked aerobics across the street, and it was like totally testing them. They were like,
maybe.
Yeah, and Jerry and George couldn't sleep because they weren't taking care of themselves. They're tossing and turning, but meanwhile, Kramer's like sleeping like a baby.
Oh my God.
Elaine's tossing and turning until she takes care of herself, and then she's sleeping like a baby.
Oh my God.
I think this is a porno Dan version of Seinfeld.
That's like the most famous episode ever.
That's hilarious.
You know how they say when you download the wrong show because it's a porno?
Yeah.
I'm afraid this is what Jeff is talking about.
Seinfeld.
All right, moving along. Only because we have a lot to get to. We probably won't get into it all anyway. It's a fine. So, Frankie, how are your dating apps going? We've had like 2 weeks in the can with the dating apps.
Yeah.
Or 3, I don't know, 2.
I don't know, man. I think the algorithm has to change. The suggestions it's giving me are not.
Hinge does not know. Wait, don't take me wrong. There's some, I don't mean this, but when Hinge, you know how it has the categories and they put your type, recent, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm like, Hinge, this is not my type. Where did you get that idea?
I know. I'm like, is it doing the opposite of what I said?
And I am convinced every guy on there is 6 feet tall. Like, it. Now, I set my thing to 6, all the way up to 6'6".
Yeah.
I've also never realized, and they are this tall because they have pictures where, holy crap, 6'3", 6'6", 6'5", 6'4". I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize there was this many that tall people around here.
Yeah, everybody's 6+.
But no, well, those people are. Like, they have the pictures, and you can tell here's a normal size guy, and this guy's 6'6". There's one guy today, 6'6".
Wow,
that got in my little whatever you call it. That wasn't in my type. That was new here.
But we've been so busy with everything, so it's kind of hard to get on that app. Like, try to like be consistent on it. So I'll maybe do I'll try to do like 10 minutes a day or something.
Yeah.
Just to like kind of.
Yeah.
And then you start getting those long paragraphs.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, why do you say this much on this app?
Literally, I know people are looking for pointers, and I don't want to go too long here, but everyone's 6 feet. Guys, don't put aggressive like taglines. Like, I don't think I wrote them down. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Like, one guy had this, hold on, and poetry, like save your poetry for in person so you feel out the person. Some guy had breathe in the negative ions and exhale into a positive attitude.
Wait,
What? I was like, what in the actual F am I reading? And it doesn't make him a bad guy, guys. I'm not criticizing, but I'm like, okay, dude. Like, breathe in the negative ions and breathe out a positive attitude. Like, I felt like I was about to go into meditation, not click like.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much on some of those. It's like, it's cringe. Like, you feel bad for them.
And then some guys have like aggressive lists of like, I have to have this, and don't do this. And one guy's like, these aren't to me. I'm saying these are their profiles.
Yeah, profiles.
One guy's like, if I ask you out and you say no, you can't that day, and you don't suggest another day, just so you know, I'm not asking you out again. And I'm like, dude, no one's gonna go out with you with that attitude.
he needs to breathe in some ions.
That's gonna be our phrase now. If somebody gets worked up. Everybody gets all
Breathe
worked up
in
and
negative. The funniest one, and like, you know, I haven't really talked to some of the funniest, best one, and of course, I like this photo strictly because I'm like, if anything, I'll be friends with this person. This is my type of friend. It said, quote, you know, you can my favorite quote, either she's here for intentional dating or to get some respectable D.
Oh, wow.
Author unknown. And I go, that's amazing. So I did like that photo just for the mere fact of like, I said, that's a great sense of humor.
But some of them have really great quotes, you know, like you know,
A
they're
respectable
witty and
D.
stuff.
Is there any other kind? Is there disrespectable D? I guess so.
I think, did I show you what I changed to on my profile?
Yeah. What?
Something about like, I'll buy the first round, and I put if you show up.
I didn't know. Did you hear that, Jeff? If you show up. Scott, what do you have on your profile? Let me guess. Nothing, Jessica. I'm respectful. I'm respectful while I model on my Instagram.
I don't think I have a thing. Do you have to have a bio?
I don't.
I mean, they ask questions.
I think it does. I got off the but I was at a dinner. Okay, so real quick, and then we'll get on to our subjects because we all ran late tonight. But first off, my girlfriend we were at a dinner party, and we're looking through my Hinge. And Scott, when you find it, don't think I'm letting you off the hook.
No, you're good.
And first of all, there was a guy that looked like Jesus. I'm not criticizing looks, with a dirty wife beater on in one of his photos, and I'm just like, dude, what are you thinking? Like, guys, come on. And I'm sure girls are just as bad. I'm not trying to say that, but I was like, so we're scrolling, we're just dying. Like, I'm like, this isn't my type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, she tells me, this is one of our close friends. You know her too. Jeff, I think you might know her as well. It's not D. And she goes, did I ever tell you my dating app story? And I go, no. And so I'm thinking it's just, guy was psycho, whatever. So I'm going to quicken this up. And Scott, you can throw up the picture because this is how it ended. But so she meets a guy, and for some reason he was in the area, but he lived in San Francisco. So they talk for months and months, and he invites her to go to the Hamptons. Look at that. He invites her to go to the Hamptons. And she was like, okay. So they fly to the Hamptons. To this, they take a seaplane, over, because you have to, take the boat or whatever over to the other side, and or they got there this way. So they go over there. She's at the party to dumb it down. She's going to spend the weekend at the Hamptons. It's a fabulous party, very well-to-do, yada yada.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, he's getting very clingy right away. Why aren't you kissing me? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? And she's like me, like, okay, dude. Like, first of all, do not push me to do things like I don't want to do on your timing. It's never happening, right? And this is during the party, so she's also a lot like me too. Like, I'm not staying in this fucking situation. I'm out. So tries to find him. It was like, screw it. Packs her bags. Hold on. Runs down the driveway. Calls an Uber. It's a long driveway in a locked gate. So she's literally there with her suitcase, trying to call the house to unlock the gate because the Uber's sitting on the other side. Oh, yeah. She's like, Jessica, it was like a movie. She took her luggage, chucked it over the gate, and climbed on the gate. Can you imagine the Uber driver's like, what in the actual fuck is going on? Dude. And she gets in the Uber. Okay, wait, it gets better. She's like, I messed up this part, but she gets to, drives 6 hours, gets to whatever airport it was, and it has these clear pods, okay? And all she wants to do is get home. That's all she wants to do. She's like, this has been the date from hell. I just want to go home. So it runs on a track just like you see in like the Jetsons. Yeah. Like, so it's clear, these little clear pods. I think it's Newark Airport. It runs on the track like 40, 50 feet from the station. The entire track breaks down. Oh, this is a girl that has anxiety like I do and claustrophobia.
Jeez.
She is banging on the thing, trying to get out, screaming. They had to turn off power to the whole track. And the picture Scott just threw on the screen is the lady having to get her out of the plexiglass.
Dude.
I was like, well, I'm doing better than that.
Wow. That's like stuff you see in the movie.
No, for real. I said, that did not happen to you. I said, I think the best part, because I know the anxiety with the plexiglass thing. Yeah. I think the best image of that story I have is her, because she's beautiful, right? All dressed up, I'm sure. I know her. Packed luggage being chucked over the fence.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, that was a good.
That's crazy.
So if anything like that happens to us, we must tell it on the show.
That's hysterical.
Have you ever had a bad first date, Scott?
I don't think so.
You ever had a good first date, Scott?
I would say, oh yeah.
How good?
Oh.
Believe it or not, I'm not one to go all the way on the first date, but.
Aww.
But she was.
What did you find her Tinder's profile?
I did. It's actually the same as my Instagram. It's anyone want to change the world?
Oh yeah.
Anyone want to change the world? Yeah.
I love it. Scott's a little model. I'm telling you, he's an Aries, true and true. He's tricked us. He's tricked us. So anyway, just wanted to plug that story. I thought it was really funny. And then, all right, let's move on to our subject. Frankie, what's going on?
Well,
I always get a little nervous when you want to. I know you're dying over there to ask me something.
of course, I always love our little when I ask you questions, I put you on the spot. And today, my first question is, speaking of dating and exes and all that, how long does somebody have to wait after their bestie breaks up for one to badmouth their ex?
Well, first of all, I'd be the first to want to badmouth an ex of someone else, right?
Yeah.
I'm the last one to badmouth my own, except if I was intimate, I was circle and I was mad and I just need to get it out because I know it's not going any further than that, right?
Yeah.
Don't take me wrong. Any of my friends, I want to, especially if they did something naughty to my friends, guy or girlfriends, I want to jack them up. And if you put me in the right mood and tell me that I can, I will. I will verbally assault them. I've always said, look, I said this, and I think just having a year and a half out from a breakup and so many people pushing me to try and talk shit. And I was like, I'm always going to take the classy road. I don't have a side to tell. Everything comes out on their own.
Yeah.
People show themselves for exactly who they are. And that's not saying anything bad about him. I'm just like, I don't need to tell my own thing. I heard the most all the way around horror, like kind of crappy things said about me. And I'm like, then let that be that. Some true that I was like, yeah, that's probably true. I need to work on that. And I did. And some very not true, and you're just like, I want to defend myself so bad, and then that makes you want to talk shit about them, going, oh, you think you're perfect? Pot calling kettle black.
Correct.
And it's just not the right thing to do, and yeah. But if somebody hurt you, Scott, Jeff see me go ham on somebody for hurting somebody else, yeah, and you let me go feral, I probably will do it.
So 5-second rule?
I know, 5-second rule.
I think Jeff knows I can, yeah. When that fire gets ignited.
Yeah, she's a crazy bitch.
Yeah. I am the girl you want as your backup.
So what's a good timeline, Jeff?
Jeff wouldn't talk
when
shit.
do you finally say, when finally can say something?
I'm not one to
Me
talk
either.
shit about people.
Yeah. I don't talk shit about people. If I have to vent in those situations, I am going like Jeff. I'll go to Jeff and go, this happened today, blah, blah. Jeff's not going to go run his mouth, and I know that, so it's hurting nobody.
Right.
Look, you have to think, I always say that I want to be like my Philly girl, but the truth of the matter is I think I always do the right thing in those situations and only go to the people that I know it won't go any further. It's not worth it. And you're just as bad as them.
Yeah.
Because you hear the crap said about you, and then you're just as bad as the people talking about you. So I try to take the high road. Doesn't mean I don't slip up sometimes.
No, but that's one of your
do.
greatest qualities. That's one of the reasons why I like you, because you've always take the high road. You always keep it classy. And even when I went through my breakup, like a lot of my friends would be like, Frank, careful what you say, because it is the mother of your kids. Like, so I always had good friends to make sure that I didn't look stupid talking all this stuff either. Because sometimes we get emotional, right? Yeah. And then some of our friends could be the same way. Yeah. But I always had some pretty good friends that would be like, Yeah. Yeah. Like,
and I think it's good. Like, you have your certain people you can go to that, like, especially your girlfriends that want to go to battle for you. Yeah. And it's good to have that support behind the scenes, and just it's between you guys, even though they probably would if you asked them to. Yeah, yeah. But it's nice to have that little like, like, because everybody wants to. That's human, guys. Of course, it's natural, human. It's normal, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just take the high road. Take that was advice out there. You never, and if you have kids, like my ex-husband, yes, if I vented. And I'm sure he's vented about me. We were firecrackers. Yeah. But he's Nico's dad. And at the end of the day, who I talked to today. He's a trip. He will kill me if I tell. I will next week if I get permission. Anyway, if you have kids, look, don't weaponize your kids.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever weaponize your kids. Your relationship, your breakup, your divorce, whatever that is, I don't care what they did to you. Do not weaponize your children. At the end of the day, if they're a good dad or mom, they're a good dad or mom.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with you. If you're bitter, then go to therapy. Believe me, there's many times I had to clench my fist. I'm sure I slipped up sometimes. I'm not perfect. But all in all, I had great co-parenting and still, I think, do when needed. Very rare because he's in college. But neither of us weaponize Nico like that. I mean, I see the most brutal things. I'm like, the only person you're hurting at the end of the day and effing up is your kid.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys will go on. You're already adults.
Yep.
And so...
Yep.
And kids feel guilty. Anyway, we're not a child psychology program.
Fuck them kids.
I'll be opening my doors tomorrow for whoever needs therapy. All right, Julio, what do you got for me?
Okay, so on the basis of exes, how would you feel if a close friend of yours dated one of your exes?
I would never. Friendship over. Hold on. My serious long-term exes, friendship over. It's friendship ending for me. I would never ever do that. I'm not talking like, oh, I dated that guy for a month, like 3 years ago. Sure, go for it. I'm not saying that 6 months even. That wouldn't upset me. But long-term exes, one of my best friends needs to go find that guy.
Yeah.
And there's other guys, and people are always like, well, you can't help who you fall in love with. Yeah, you can. My grandmother always told me the reason that my grandparents never cheated, they never had the problem. My grandfather said it too. They never put themselves in positions to do so. People put themselves in positions, and if you know there's a semi-attraction there, it doesn't mean you're not attracted to somebody, and you can't help that all the time. Don't put yourself in positions to go hook up with them or get to that point. I just don't. I wouldn't do that. Jeff, I think you agree with me here.
Absolutely, I do.
Yay! Oh my God, mark this day. Holy shit. I know. Jeff's on the same page. That's dirty. I think it's dirty as betrayal.
Yeah, I mean, there's just too many people out there for you to have.
But I know girls that would and guys that would in a heartbeat.
I mean, that's a good question because it happens. It's not just out of nowhere. It happens. People break up after long relationships, and then they wind up like getting together with one of your close friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
It's so hurtful.
Yeah.
It's hard. And people are like, I've had friends say, oh, you can date and they're like, I'm fine with it. No, you're not. No, you're not. That hurts. There's no need, right? Your friend just now put themselves in the position. Now you're around everybody. How are you going to be best friends? It's an impossible. Scott, have you ever done that? Or what do you think of this from a 25-year-old perspective?
You might have to repeat the question.
So do you think it's ever okay to date your best friend's ex? So if my girlfriend broke up with her boyfriend, should I date the ex? Coming from the mouth of Jen.
Yeah, if it's okay. Like if it's okay with your friend.
Wow. So the reason I would say no all the time because it's never actually going to be okay with your friend.
Touche.
It's never it's friendship ending. Whether you purposefully end the friendship, like I'd be like, later, dude, you could have found a million other guys. You put yourself in this position. But that girl can say or guy can say they're okay all day long. Guys too. I mean, guys have feelings. Mostly.
And we're mainly talking about like a serious long-term relationship.
Yeah, I'm not
like
talking.
if you dated someone for 2 weeks and didn't work out.
Or even 6 months, but.
You're right. That might be a different story then.
Yeah, we're talking about like someone you've been in love with for a few years.
Yeah, that might be a little bit
Like I was with my ex for 7 years. If one of my friends actually.
Ooh, I would be pissed.
Yeah,
I would be pissed as hell.
Especially my best friends. But
yeah,
friendship and fine. I'll never talk to them again. I won't argue with them. I won't fight with them. I won't fight for a dude ever. But like,
hey,
no.
By the way, can I have a go at it since you didn't work out with you?
Some people will though. Some people will, and I don't know. Anyway,
hey, how would you approach it? How would they ask? Like, hey, I know we're really good friends, but
yeah.
Can I get a turn at it?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's kind of dirty.
Well, I have another question for you, Jess.
Okay.
And this is based on that reel I sent you
Oh, I'm real upset. I posted that.
All right, take a deep breath. Let me
Jeff, you're gonna like this. We're going back down another trail of this.
Okay. The trigger word is body count.
No, hold on. You're setting that up unfairly. The trigger word is not body count.
Okay.
Hold on. You're gonna stand down, Battle Cat.
Let me just ask the question then. So that reel that I sent you, my question is this: why is it that men tend to correlate character with body count when it comes to women?
Okay, first of all, let's set this reel up about what triggered me about this.
Yeah.
It was not body count. Look, whether you are a virgin or you have a high body count, let's be clear. Body count is relative to the person that actually was stupid enough to ask.
Correct.
Either way, right?
Yep.
It is none of your business, but okay. Some people share whatever.
Yeah.
So it's relative, right? You might think this many, somebody might think this many. And I think people think women get triggered. And if they're triggered, it's because they have a high body count. I think that is literally not, I'm not saying not always the case. What triggered me is this was a woman to woman talk of a girl that was probably, I'm going to guess, late 20s.
She looked like
maybe
she was in
early
her
30s.
Yeah.
To a lady that looked maybe my age or a little bit older.
Correct.
That could have used skincare. I'm real mad at this lady that she's talking to this girl and talking down to her, that's and saying, don't you realize that women, and now I didn't see the rest of this interview to put in context whether this girl admitted she had a high body count. And this will be the last time I address this on the show for a while because I've had this conversation, but in a different way.
Well, we're talking about it because it tied it up with character.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
And she said, the first thing she said, well, I rewatched it like 10 times today because I was so pissed.
I know.
Was, don't you understand that men don't want a woman with a high body count, or why they get upset with a woman with a high body count? And the girl retorted, her reply was, because they're insecure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's always the case, whether that's why men, whatever.
That's what she
Mostly, yes.
Yes, I agree with you, Jeff. I'll get to that because this this next line, and I can only reiterate, not verbatim. She goes, because alpha men want to know they're the leaders. They want to know they're providers. Fair, men are providers, but they have to be the leaders. And if you've had a high body count, they can't be the leaders. And hold on, I wrote this down because I was so mad. They need to know that they're the head of the household and that you'll be there for him. I literally the F words coming out of my mouth on the voice clips back to you was embarrassing. If they ever went to public, it's embarrassing. But what I was pissed about is two things. What does her body count have to do with whether that girl is there for him or not? What body count has to do with character? We are socially...
Preach.
Yeah. We are socially conditioned or guys make this a thing, because I'm gonna go forward and go back. And what did I tell you at the end of my rant? I don't know a single man out there that has actually gone, oh, that's your body count. Now that they've gone out with a girl, they're loved up. This is the one. Oh, that's your body count. Peace out. Name one that you know. Do you? I'm 48. I know a lot of guys. Never one. And I know they went with girls with a high body count.
No, but usually causes lots of arguments when they get drunk together.
Yeah, hold on.
That's the problem.
So going back to that, so that's true. I've never met one guy.
They just can't get over it.
Well, yeah, and I sent them something else that when you're in a healthy relationship. All right, hold on. I want to pause because I'm going to go on a tangent. I'm angry talking about it now. Because
Scotty, prepare some shots, Scotty.
If I wasn't on an intermittent fast, I would take one right now. Because first of all, that statement from that lady, you know what that says? Head of household, leader, provider, is two things. One, that all sounds like ego. That sounds like nothing else but ego about how she's referring to men. So we have to feed a man's ego, okay? Which in a bad kind of way, not in a good kind of way, right?
Yeah.
We all want to make our men feel good, of course. That's not what I'm saying before that gets taken on a trail of no man's land and people twist my words. The other thing, it just sounds like that guy's insecure, right? And he can't handle that a woman has had, everybody has a past. And the older you get, the more of a past you have. And it comes with a slew of things. So all that speaks to me is that man is insecure and cannot handle that a woman has had sex with other people than him. Because he might say 5's too much. Because the comments in that shit were out of control. It was, one guy said, well, she should be a virgin. Yeah, women that are that will cheat and this and that. I go, I know the most loyal women, some of the most loyal women I know have never cheated. Girls I know that have banged 2 people and act like Pollyanna are out there cheating on their husband like it's their job. Character and sex do not equal one and the same. Then the other thing is we weaponize sex in our relationships. We weaponize our past with each other to our partner, right?
Yeah.
That is called a toxic, unhealthy relationship. When, like, if I'm with a man and only when he is mad at me, he's like, well, Susie, sorry, there's no real Susie. Susie used to blah, 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 suck me, fuck me, whatever you want to say. That's weaponizing sex and making someone secure. A healthy relationship looks like, oh my God, babe, because you're like having this conversation. Oh my God, babe, this guy, blah, 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 blah. And oh my God, babe, like blah, 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 blah about this girl. I'm not saying there aren't securities that come in with that, but in a healthy relationship, you start to be able to express those things and feel comfortable with each other so that people on the outside hearing that, when they say, oh, that bitch is insecure because she slept with you, or oh, she said this to her husband, he should be ashamed, and this, that, and no, you're projecting what's missing in your relationship. You probably had sex weaponized against you in terms of the way your man talked to you. So it's not a healthy conversation in your household. And now you're projecting your insecurities or your issues of your relationship into someone else because you think they slept with a lot of people or not.
Yeah.
That is not to say that people don't come from, bad situations and this and that. That's just high level. I just got so stop. Because you know what? A man, if this was being said about a man, they'd be high five, and if his girlfriend was cool with his high body count, they'd be like, God, what a cool chick you have. And high fiving him. You got a good one. She just accepts everything about you. The other end of that is women going, oh my God, dude, are you really going to date her? She's slept with XYZ or blah, 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 which they may or may not know is true. How is that fair? And why does it matter, guys?
But this is
okay. I'm done.
I know you used the guy's side of the example, but what got you really upset was that it was another older woman.
Counseling a woman and
I was saying that.
And judging that by character. Look, how we teach our morality to our kids, how we walk with our morality, and how we correlate that with sex is individual. I'm not trying to tell anybody go out and do whatever you believe in and you're comfortable with and how you value or however that adds up for you.
Yeah.
But we got to stop judging each other. Sex is a normal part of life. Some people just like to have some comment was like, well, some girls like to have sex, most just F because they're insecure. So why do guys fuck? Well, what's the reason for guys? I don't know, because they like sex. They have mommy issues because they preach to us we have daddy issues. So what is it? And what's high? What's not high? Should everybody be a virgin? I don't know. I'm so over this double standard. I'm over that character has anything to do with who you slept with. I'm over it.
It's like the shaming of a female because of, I guess, whatever, their body count.
But how do we know what's high? What's high?
No, I didn't say high. I said because of their body count.
I asked you this the other day.
It's
what's
relative.
high?
It depends on the individual.
Why ask?
Yeah.
Why ask? Why does it actually? You're gonna leave a girl you fell in love with because all of a sudden she's like, dude, I slept with.
But this is the thing about guys. Guys want to always find out, but they don't know. They can't handle it. Like, don't ask questions that you can't handle. It's like if you're gonna ask, don't ask so you could use it later or as a.
Well, don't weaponize it.
Exactly.
Have a healthy relationship, and that's built. Believe me, I have failed many times. I've been the insecure girl. I don't speak from a place that I'm perfect, and this took a lot of work. And I'm sure in my next relationship, I'm going to have to be like, this makes me insecure. But you know what the difference is? I know how to say that now instead of bottling it up all inside and then just exploding. Or, Yeah, I suck at this part. So when I get like this, we got to work on that. But I'm also can tell by just the way I interact with men now, how much I've learned and how much I value myself more and respect myself, and how much braver I've become on my own, speaking my own truth instead of worrying about rocking the apple cart. And that was nobody else's fault but my own.
Yeah,
that was my fault.
Maturity. You
And
look in the mirror, mature.
I needed to work on issues that I had and was not aware of how they sabotaged relationships. And,
Correct.
you know, across the board, friendships too, like self-sabotaging behavior, not all the way around. I'm a really good friend and partner. I don't mean it like that, but yeah. So I don't want people to think I'm coming off as crass. I'm just so over this. And to hear a woman say that to another woman just killed me.
Yeah, because we weren't going to talk about it. We just mentioned it because I sent you that reel. You were like,
Oh, I blew. Scott, I like, the steam was coming out of my head.
Bro, I was like, stop sending me all these voice clips. Call me.
Oh.
Because it was just like...
It was F this,
like,
F that, and this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was pretty
I saw the group
bad.
chat, it was just like 100 messages. And
Jeff,
oh my God, they asked about
I want your contribution here because you always are able to put this into. I think coming from a female, I'm just going to get probably half the audience going, and she probably has a high bank account, blah, blah, blah. But you're good at summarizing the ego thing and the insecurity thing from a male perspective.
Yeah, I think that usually when the problems arises when the girl has a higher body count than the guy, and he feels insecure for the most part.
Yeah.
Like I think that's all that's what it boils down to. Or they had some crazy rearing when they were children that women are whores kind of thing. Like for me, I was raised that women should be, or actually everybody should be pure whenever they get married and all that. But it wasn't judgy and it wasn't like shoved down your throat.
Yeah.
And my parents had that like proper country marriage, but honestly, they didn't. Because, I mean, they were together for 35 years until he passed away, and she was there at his bedside. They were together since they were like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that it was different back then.
Yeah. 100%.
My dad had long hair and rode a motorcycle back in the day, and
that's awesome.
My grandfather, whenever they eloped, 3 days after my mom turned 18, my grandfather was sitting on his porch in West Virginia, waiting for them to come back with a knife in his lap to chase my father off. I mean, it's like one of those crazy things.
Yeah.
It's like those traditional Southern, things. And you would think that sort of marriage was going to be crazy, and you'd have, different values and all that stuff. But they were just, level-headed people, and they grew up, and they loved each other, and that was it. And it wasn't about, I don't know who was pure, who wasn't, but I know that I was born 9.5 months after they got married, so I know they didn't wait around.
Yeah.
But
I just think
it's just all different. But they never, like I said, they just wanted you to be right and proper, but never like judge.
Yeah. And I think that's what made me mad is let's stop associating good character with it, this should be a discussion between two people if it's necessary, and not a bashing against women especially online. It's just like this. If you could read through those comments, I mean, I felt sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible, and it's unnecessary, and it's double standard, unfortunately.
I agree.
And it is relative to the person. I know you want to go home soon, Scott.
No worries.
What do you think of this, Scott?
No, I agree. I would like to think I would be one of the better guys, but who knows?
Yeah. I don't think it's so much. It was the woman saying it to her and basically saying a man has to be alpha. And to me, a man that is truly alpha has nothing to do with body count. It's a way a man can relax another woman into being a woman. And the problem is a lot of men can't do that.
But it was
and so they use something else to justify that they can't. They can't.
It was just like the whole advice that lady was giving was just so condescending and disrespectful and insulting in so many ways. Because not only was she was like beating down the girl,
yeah, it was.
Then
pretty
she
bad.
was also attacking men who were able to move on and see past that. All of a sudden, I'm not an alpha guy because I accept that.
Yeah,
so it was just
correct.
A lot of these, I don't know, people who give advice or do these shows, they just use it to like beat down and women, and just to trigger or just to be you know.
Because at the end of the day, they're hypocrite, and then we'll move on to something funnier. But at the end of the day, it's hypocritical because I promise you, if a guy meets, we're just going to go guy, girl,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And a girl, and he's all in love, and she's the one. She is not leaving. I never met one that left, and I don't think they really believe that. I think something else is going on there.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean run out and have sex. Again, body count's relative. One could be too for the guy that said girls should be a virgin. One was too many for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other guy could say it could be XYZ numbers. So when I say this, I think people want to just think of numbers. It doesn't equal character, and it's relative to somebody else. And stop making the double standard.
I agree.
Oh, baby, you're asleep. All right, so let's move on to something else. Thank you for triggering me to my heart rate. I probably burned like 500 calories in the FU voice clips I was sending. And this bitch, who does she think she is? But you sent me another cool thing, but I want to take it to another level, and then Scott will wrap up, I promise. You sent me this thing about pursuing women, women to pursue men within their own relationship. And I think we should elaborate more next week because it's a great discussion.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But you had a really good point. So I think through online, just in the 2 weeks I've talked to gentlemen, I'm like, oh, I feel less afraid to talk to them out in the wild. But I'm very bad about pursuing. And the reason I'm bad about pursuing isn't rejection. I couldn't figure out what it was. It's that I don't want to be looked at, and let's go into this next week, as the annoying girl that I feel like if I pursue...
Too late.
Shut up, chef. Well, we know that. That's a different kind of annoying. But I don't want to be looked at as like, oh, I annoyed this guy who was like, yeah, dude, I'm not into you. Like, or look stupid. Not so much the rejection itself. Like, oh, I feel rejected. I bounce back from rejection like it's my job. But you said something, and let's give the thought and then table the discussion for next week, because I want to go into our final funny things so everybody can go home.
Yeah, I had mentioned that. It's good when a woman, like, pursues a guy, especially nowadays. With,
Yeah.
With all the stuff that happens, like, oh, this guy harasses me, this and that. There's
Yeah.
so much negativity to it that, us guys get too extra cautious, right? So now nobody's making a move.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's cautious, the
Well, I
girl's
think
not doing the
it's a
move.
chess move. Like, it's become a society of liking each other's photos, looking at a story, or saying nothing at all.
yeah.
And I am guilty. I am raising my hand because I'll take accountability where I suck. And
Yeah,
I'm totally guilty of it. But this has made me a little more comfortable. I'm like, fuck it. I don't care what this dude thinks of me. If he doesn't like me, too bad in that way. And it doesn't have to be awkward or uncomfortable. And now I feel a lot more confident. But I agree with you. Not only for the attention of our partners, we should pursue attention. And we'll get into that next week.
Yeah, it's a lot to talk about.
That was really cool. But I think women should be out there pursuing. And I feel like that's the one thing that the dating app has helped me with. Like, I'm more comfortable talking to men going, okay, this isn't that bad. I don't know what comes of it.
Yeah.
But it's cool to talk to them. Now I'm like, oh, this one, I can help you. The 31 girl, I can help get into the social scene.
And
Sweet.
remember what we said about how guys take compliments, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that should give you a
Historical
hint.
moments in a man's life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that should encourage women to be able to, like, pursue a guy too, because when we get compliments, and it's a huge compliment for a woman to pursue the guy.
Yeah, and I always think guys going to get annoyed. So I'm going to work on that, and we're going to talk about it. Scott, real quick, do you like to be pursued?
As long as it's not annoying.
Exactly.
What's annoying, Scott? Like,
What would be annoying? I mean,
Once an hour?
no.
So
Not
the guy
stalked.
says annoying.
Not
the
stalked.
woman says, like, harassment, right? Like, so it's
Sure,
like,
yeah.
it's a thin line,
All right, I'm not saying harassment. I'm saying if a girl actually asks you out and approaches you. And if you say no, she's like, cool. Do you not like that?
No, that's cool. Yeah.
That's all we got. Okay.
No, I don't know. If I don't respond, then
like I said, let's
don't
put it
keep
in a
texting.
shelf.
Scott, first of all, you should always respond.
I do 9 times out of 10.
No.
Depending on who's asking.
He never responds.
Oh, we gotta go into it. We gotta put it in the shelf for next week.
We got to put it in the shelf, Scott. You're going to
There's
get
a lot to talk about.
We're going to get you in on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, and we'll wrap it up. So I sent you guys this kid called Mr. I posted my stories. He's called Mr. New Jersey on TikTok. Good looking kid. I think he's probably in his late 20s, early 30s. And he's Jake something on the Instagrams, and I'll throw that up on my stories tomorrow. But he did a whole TikTok on the awkwardness of ending a date. And literally the dates I have been on, except for one where I felt super comfortable and I wasn't worried because I kind of knew the person. But it is always at the end of dates throughout my life. I'm like, what are you supposed to do? And it was super funny because he's like, yeah. And the way he delivers it is really funny. Yeah, you could have been in a field of flowers, holding hands, making circles. And then the minute you got to go, everybody's like, what do I do? What do I do? Do we kiss?
Like an alien. He's like, you become aliens, like robots. Like,
do we kiss? Do we peck? Do we do this? He goes, I think I had one girl shake my hand.
No, he goes, I had
one girl salute me. So I always have anxiety about this an entire date about what if I don't want to kiss him yet? Do I have to? It's a weird feeling because what do you guys, Scott, Jeff, everybody, on a first date, are you guys expecting everybody a kiss?
No.
Frankie is.
No. I'm saying it's all about chemistry.
Yes, of
Frankie's
course.
expecting to get back in the cab and
Never expect anything but be prepared.
Hold on. I want to hear this. Never expect anything but be prepared.
Yeah.
For everything, for all of it.
I don't want to expect anything though. I feel like that's being prepared.
Bring your condoms. Bring your chewing gum so you don't have bad breath.
That's just like a girl that goes out and says, I'm not having sex tonight and shaves her entire body.
That's what I'm saying. That's like expecting.
But that's,
yeah, well,
I don't know.
You never know what can happen. You can meet the
love
love
of your life. I was a Boy Scout. I was a Weeblo.
Jeff, repeat that again. I like that
prepared.
advice. Be prepared. Never expect, but be prepared.
Yeah, you could drop her off and go meet the best girl and bang it out all night. Be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that was dirty.
But it is always awkward, though, because it's like handshake, a hug, a little
I think more for girls, I'm asking for myself because I don't want to feel obligated to kiss someone. Yeah. Normally, it might end up with full-on makeouts.
A peck on the kiss, it has to be felt. It has to be natural.
I don't peck.
The thing is, women think that men catch hints way more than they do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Back to the next topic.
This is funny. Several years ago, I was hanging out with this girl, and I kind of liked her. Thought she kind of liked me, but she was, I don't know, about 20 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make the first move, but I really thought that, I didn't want to be inappropriate, but I also thought that it was there.
Yeah.
So we were hanging out, and then finally, after about 2 hours, we're watching movies and stuff. She goes, you don't get hints, do you? And I'm like, no. She goes, so when a girl's sitting next to you and she starts rubbing her foot on her leg, that means something. And she does this with her hair, that means something. And I'm like...
Yeah, okay, so guys...
Yeah. I had no clue that you're sending out these signals just now.
Yeah, no, I will say this. There is no doubt when a girl doesn't want to do anything. But if a girl is rubbing her foot against your leg, moves in closer, puts her hand anywhere in the vicinity of your leg, or does this, nobody can see me, kind of puts her fingers on your shoulder and does this little number, kind of scratches your shoulder, whether it's a makeout session, a peck, or full on whatever, depending on where you're at in the process, and not promoting first date sex.
I am.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm a woman. As a woman, I'm going to take it a lot different, as we heard with body count.
Hey, just
yeah, I don't know how I ever picked up.
Bang your bookie. But I'm saying, girls, those are all signs, guys. Those are good signs. Or moves kind of like when you're driving. I can tell you when you're driving, kind of shifts her ass this way. Sign. These are all things I've done.
I thought she had to fart.
These are all things I'm remembering having now.
Well, I know. I'm going back to all the time.
Oh, God. If you guys want me to do a whole show on how you know if a chick likes you or actually doesn't, because I think guys get it wrong.
That would be a great show. Because
I'll do it.
Bring 3 girls so they can all
I have
tell
no clue.
I'll bring 3 girls. That's a great idea. I have girls that want to come on. And I'll ask what things guys want to know on. So listeners or anybody watching right now, DM me. I'll ask the question again on Facebook and in my story. What do you want to know about women? About if they like you? What are the signals? What should you do? We'll just do a Dear Abby, except it'll be Dear Jessica.
And then follow it up with women. don't be scared to make some moves. Not just
well,
we're gonna get
into that, and I think I'm becoming braver, and I think it's important. But anyway, Frankie, we are gonna wrap this up. Frankie, Julio, and I are gonna go down to DC to Public Bar Live. We're gonna tribe Jess it out and watch a lot of football. Go DC!
Let's go!
Thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you next week. Take good care. Later.